And take a look at the sink here. We're gonna set a new faucet here, but I wanted to get a picture of this before we get going. The sink is corroded down through the enamel. Looks like cast iron or Americast sink, but unfortunately right here where the drain goes, you can see the divots and the broken away enamel, and it's cracked. So this gets sealed with putty. So we're gonna put putty in there and seal it down. However, I don't know if that's going to seat because of the damage there. And nothing we can do about that. The only thing you could do is replace the sink, but now you're into a mini remodel. But we'll know soon enough. We'll get it set. Just need to document this to show, you know, what's going on there, the corrosion. And we'll get enough putty in there and whatnot, and then we'll get it tightened up and we'll run it, make sure there's no leaks, and then take another video when we're done. So downstairs bath 2, which is a single sink, a shower only, and then this toilet here. They wanted to see what was down here, and you can see the wax ring that was down there. You can see all the corrosion on top, which means water's been escaping through there. So I'm not sure why it wasn't sealed. You know, if it was installed recently, but it's, you know, we flushed it one time and water poured out the side. So we're gonna get a new wax ring on there, take a look at the bolts and see if we can get those replaced, and then reinstall the toilet and take a little video when we're done. So we chipped off some of the surrounding areas that were covering up the actual flange down here. You can see the soil pipe coming through was never cut flush with the flange. So those are those jagged edges you see poking up all the way around. This bolt looks like it's still in a slot and holding fairly well. This one over here we can't tell, and we're not going to investigate further. It looks like something's happened down. You can see it's corroded away, and it looks like there's not a slot. Normally there's a slot in there that holds the bolt to the floor. I'm guessing at some point they did a repair, but we're not going to touch that bolt, because once that bolt disappears, you've got nothing to mount your toilet with. Worst case scenarios, you would need to get this flange replaced with a new flange or capped off. They do need to be bolted to the floor, so you need a diamond bit, drill holes, mount screws. You know, you're talking like $400 or $500 just for the repair. So we're going to go ahead and just reset this toilet the way that it is. We are going to shave off some of that plastic and get it out of the way so the wax ring seats correctly. And then we'll take another video when we're done. So still here in Fresno, California, and of course, downstairs bath. Door goes off the backyard, I guess, side yard, backyard. Yeah, big lot, big corner lot here. Anyways, that's the walk-in shower. So we work on the toilet here. It's reinstalled, and unfortunately, like I say, on the one side you got a corroded bolt and a corroded flange, and it looks like they might have taken an anchor and gone into cement. They make two styles of anchors. One, you got the flange sitting on the floor and there's a little slot, and that bolt, which is this bolt right here, it slides in, and then you tighten the bowl portion of the toilet down to it. They also make anchors that go into wood that you can screw into wood on one side, and then it's got a mechanical joint like this on the top. And then additionally, they make one that you can anchor into concrete, and then it's got threads on top. So however you do it is fine, but looks like that's what you might have on the right hand side. So it's corroded, and we didn't want to dig into there and end up with a broken bolt and not be able to get this toilet reset. And reinstalling it, it sits down, but it's crooked. We don't like that, but it's not our original, you know, installation. Probably have some discrepancies in tile and whatnot. I mean, this side's sitting down fine, the back's sitting down all the way around the back side. It's sitting down on the floor. But when you get around to this side, it's up off ground. So you got shims, you know, that's what we put in there, plastic shims, one at the bolt, one in the middle, one at the front. And then when we get done, we're gonna caulk it in. We're not gonna caulk it in just yet because we need to turn the water back onto the home. We need to, and first we need to replace a shut-off valve in the other bathroom, replace a cartridge upstairs. So before we turn the water back on, we need to get that accomplished. Then we're gonna come back in here, we're gonna get this brand new supply line hooked up to your toilet, and then turn the water on and test this. We're gonna flush it, make sure we don't get any leaking out of there. Because that was the original problem, was water was pouring out of here. And so we did cut back some of that plastic that we showed you in the first video, that closet flange. It's what happens when you don't measure something correctly and the pipe is sticking up too far. Plumbers come back super lazy. It's so easy to take a Sawzall blade and cut that plastic off. but they take and they just snap it off with a hammer. They just hit it and chisel it, and they leave all these jagged edges, and then the wax ring cannot seat correctly on the closet flange like it's supposed to. So anyways, we took that off, got 2 wax rings in there, a single on the bottom because it's pure wax to seal any discrepancies and the gaps from that soil pipe coming through flange, and then a horn ring, and of course that's the one, the bowl with a flange. You know, we put that on second. This one on the bottom is just pure wax. So that's all installed. It's real tight, so it's not moving back and forth. But anyways, after we test it, we'll get some caulking here, caulk back in, and we'll take another video. So still here in Fresno, California, upstairs in the master bath. And so nice big bathroom up here, tub and shower, full tub and then shower. So we replaced the cartridge here. It's the old Fixture Avante, and we use original Fixture parts. We don't use the knockoffs because then we got to come back and change them. So 1974 292 in there. So that's good. We're gonna go downstairs, take a video of a couple of the projects that we did, and then we'll button it up. We'll be done for the day. So here again in the downstairs bath with this built-in tub right here. We got a new faucet set, so a little bit of fussing around with that. But anyways, I don't have a light. Sorry about that. But we did replace your shutoff valves. You can see back here they were the integrated shutoff valve supply lines. We used to set them back in the late 80s, early 90s, and so we replaced them. Gave you a brand new quarter-turn shutoff valve, brass craft. These are right out of Home Depot, and then brand new supply lines up to your faucet. And then of course that's all part of the Moen mounting system. But so Moen faucet right out of Home Depot, and so we've tested it. No leaking at the drain. We did have some concerns about the sink, where it's cracked right here, and the enamel finish was missing. So we putty down in there, got it tightened down. So it appears that you're going to be okay here. I would monitor it, have whoever you're running this to. It's hard to monitor something when you don't live there, but right now it looks good. So hot and cold. Kind of a little rain spout coming out cold chrome, and it's a Moen. This is your model number right there. So if you have any trouble with it, you can give Moen a phone call and give them that model number, and then you can get replacement parts for that. So that is this part, and we're going to take one more video. Okay, so last video, I think I already took a video of this, but we just wanted to follow up on this. We got it tied back in and tested because previously we hadn't flushed the lines out and the water was off. So toilet set, we ran, I think we flushed about 5 times. Additionally, we take a 5-gallon bucket and fill it full of water and just dump it in the bowl. Honestly, you don't need the tank to test the bowl. The bowl, you just need to dump water and have it push through, and then you check the bottom. So you're nice and dry around the perimeter. Like I say, it's crooked, it's tilted to one side. You got some funny stuff going on the floor. I did speak with the homeowner about it. You got a bolt that appears to be somehow cemented in place, anchored to concrete or some kind of filler on top of the existing ABS flange. I don't know, it looks like potentially the bolt hole was corroded through or broken, something, I don't know, but it's tight, it's not going anywhere. And we don't warrant the flange, it's not ours, but it's not leaking. Got you a brand new supply line up to the toilet. We did check it to make sure there's no dripping. Again, with the rental, it's hard to monitor the plumbing, so hopefully your tenants do a good job of just observing. You just need to observe, and that's the whole house, not just what we worked on the day, the toilet, the faucet, and the shower upstairs, but every fixture in the home, occasionally you got to look underneath and make sure that it's dry. So anyways, everything here looks good. Outside of that, this installation is done.